Hey guys, Evans with Z111 here today bringing the next episode of Conclave Chronicles, and I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm at university now, and this is the first video I've recorded, which is a really surreal experience for me. Even finding time to record this video has been absolutely horrible because, well yeah, I've been so fucking busy. Like, I will get into that in another video at some point because it's irrelevant otherwise, but the purpose of this video, in this week, I'm going to be trying all the new update 17.5 content, I think it is. But unfortunately the Convectrix, I don't even know how to pronounce it, the primary weapon, the laser one, isn't actually available in Conclave, which is weird because I thought every time they added a new weapon it was automatically enabled for Conclave, but apparently not. It might have been removed for balancing reasons, or it might have never been added for balancing reasons, so I'm going to have to stick to using the Sonicor and the Tekko, which are these little claw fisty weapons. The range on those isn't so impressive, so I will more than likely be using the Sonicor, which is a bit of a more interesting weapon, but I imagine it's pretty hard to hit because, okay, I'll show you how it works first of all. I'm actually out of ammo already. You fire it and it explodes after a certain distance, but okay, it knocks enemies down, as you can see from this guy, which is actually not always a good thing by the looks of it, because it was pushing me away. There's a problem with the weapon, it has very limited range. But what I was going to say is you can also bounce the projectiles like that, so you could go for some fancy trick shots around corners like that. But the thing is, seeing as the range is so limited, I don't see that actually doing anything at any point. And I'm now out of ammo on my Sonicor, so I'll have to switch to the very, very bad useless Tekko. We're just beating on this poor Frost, and I think that guy turned to fight someone else who came, so let's see if I can help with that instead. I am actually playing Atlas as well, which I might as well mention, because that allows me to do this, which should be pretty devastating. Atlas's first ability is, I'll go through the names, no, it's not Rumblers, Landslide. It's a very good ability, it locks onto enemies and it punches them. So it's good for closing the distance. I suppose it makes you harder to hit as well, and it does a considerable amount of damage. So honestly, I can see that being one of his most impressive abilities of his entire tile set. His others, I'd say, are a bit more situational, but I'll have to wait until I get some energy before I can show you. Right, I'm going to lose this fight, so I'm going to get out of here before it gets to that point. I suppose, also worth, damn it, I knew that was going to happen. Also worth mentioning is Atlas has a passive ability where he can't be knocked down, but only if he's on the floor. So if you're jumping around, it actually inhibits you in a way. I suppose if you're up against weapons, that will utilize knockdown or any abilities like that. Okay, I'm going to use the Sonicor a bit more because I feel as though this is going to be a pain in the ass to fight against in PvP. Because if it just knocks you down every time, there doesn't seem to be any cooldown. You can fire it pretty fast. So I suppose that's why it does very limited damage, and that's why the range has to be so short. So let's get another try on this guy. It seems as though the explosion radius too isn't actually that impressive in the slightest. I'm going to back off here because, oh shit, that guy is just like spazzing out and rolling around everywhere. That was really weird. But Atlas's abilities, like, I think his second ability that creates a rock wall could be useful. I don't know. The wall's pretty small, and it does have an active ability where you can turn it into a boulder and it'll roll and hit enemies, but I really don't know. I don't know if it's going to be as effective as it is in PvE, because even in PvE, it's not that incredible. It's alright, I guess. It's a kind of cross between Volt Shield and Rhino's. What's Rhino's first ability called? The one where he slides across the floor. I completely forget. But yeah, Tectonics, okay, is the name of Atlas's version of it, and honestly, I just don't think it's too useful at all. Same goes, unfortunately, for his third ability, because I will try and employ it here, and that was completely useless. The enemy was dead nonetheless. But let's see if I can turn on this guy and maybe get some effectiveness. Yeah. It does. If it did damage, then maybe, but all it really does is turn enemies to stone, and it's within a very short range in front of you. It takes a very long time. So honestly, I can't see any reason to use that instead of just straight up attacking them, because whilst you are using it, your weapons are disabled. You can't fire anything. This cape, my design for Atlas, like I've gone for the credit cape in red, and I've tried to give him a lava magma type look, but it really gets on my nerves. I just didn't want to go for the same colour scheme as I did with the rest. I'm going to use the punches here because these guys are together and I feel as though it's a perfect time. Because that does AoE damage, and the more you chain it together, the more damage it does and the less energy cost it is. So this ability, is devastating. Like, how are you even supposed to counter that? I suppose it does actually work well with his Sonicor as well. But you know what, let's see if I can try and make use of this, because it might be better in PvP. See if I can just be defensive. But no, I'm just going to get shot and focus down, and I don't see any reason to use the third ability. It's the equivalent of Chroma's Spectral Scream, except it doesn't do damage, and like Spectral Scream in itself is bad enough. But I suppose hopefully I'll try and gather some energy and see if I can cast his fourth ability, which is Rumblers, which will summon 2 little rock golems, and they can be really cool when you summon them, and like they can wander around. I wonder how damaging they are in PvP, because in the main game they don't do a lot of damage, but they're nice to have out. They will at least make the efforts, and they throw rocks at people and run around and punch people in the face, which is pretty cool. But I don't think they're going to be too good in PvP, because they're going to be so easy to avoid, because they're primarily melee attackers. They can throw rocks, as I said. But, yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up with Rumblers. But there's only 3 minutes left, so I am going to make an effort to conserve my energy and collect energy. I think there are 3 energy spawns on this map. It might actually just be the one in the middle. But I'm going to be avoiding combat, or trying to avoid combat, for a little bit, just so I can collect it. I'm not doing too good. All my team is dead right now. I don't really want all my team to be dead right now. That's just going to end with me being dead. We are actually winning by the looks of it, but only slightly. Okay, there's another energy spawn up there, which I completely undershot. So let's go up, and no, I didn't manage to get that up. There we go, okay. And now I have enough energy, so it looks as though there's a fight going on over here. But I don't want to lose my energy, so that is the wrong ability. Okay, I need to get, that was a complete embarrassment on my part. And you know what? I'm going to try and make use of this instead. And I can try and roll it like that. No, okay, that didn't work out as planned in the slightest. So I didn't get my Rumblers off. I accidentally did the Petrifying Breath ability, and then I summoned a rock, but they just jumped over it, which is why I didn't think it'd be too useful. And then I tried to aim it, but again, they're just jumping around, and it stays on the floor. It's hard enough to hit in PvP, as I mentioned, yet alone in PvP where everyone is constantly just going like that. How on earth are you going to be able to hit them? It's like... Atlas, in fact, I'm going to stop what I was saying. I was going to say Atlas, I feel as though he's going to be pretty underwhelming in PvP. But if you don't expect anything out of his other 3 abilities, I guess, and you just make use of the first one, then it could be fun. If you see him literally as a brawler, then he has 100 shields, 100 health, that's fairly normal. But he has a lot of armor, which means, he might be good in just brawling if you see him as a melee frame. But I've now got the energy, so let's drop these guys down and let's get out of here, because otherwise I will die and they will desummon. The guy's using Sylvan Aegis against me, but they just straight up disappeared. Their existence. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if they've got killed, or I don't know if their duration is just so low. But that was so disappointing. That was 100 energy I just used for that. Is that seriously how it works in PvP? If so, I'm very, very annoyed. And that's not cool. Not cool at all. But the only thing I was impressed by is Atlas's first ability. But yeah, this is all the update 17.5 content in Warframe PvP. And that's a look at how it works. Let me know what you think by all means. And yeah, this is me, Evans with Z11, and this is me out. How did I not kill him? This is me out. Peace.